What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So E3 is less than 5 days away, and I just wanted to take some time to talk about my most anticipated games of E3. It's not in any particular order. I'm just going to talk about them in the way that I've edited the video. So I'm hyped for all of these games fairly equally. Some of them more so than others, but we'll talk about that as we get to each game. And yeah, so we'll just get right into it. So the first game we're going to talk about is Pokemon Sword and Shield for the Nintendo Switch. Now, if people don't know, I am a pretty big Pokemon fan. I played fairly competitively, I would say a few years ago, maybe 4 years ago now, and it was good times. It was fun to really understand all the mechanics and get out there and meet people. I got into the card game for a little while, so definitely looking forward to Pokemon Sword and Shield. Now, some of the mechanics that they're showing off, I don't know that I'm necessarily sold on the super big mode where, like, you know, it's showing off more battle gimmicks to me isn't that attractive. I would much prefer that normal battles be a bit more kinetic. Like, that's all I really wanted from Pokemon games as an adult, is that I want them to be a bit faster paced. Now, I am a traditional old school RPG fan. I do like my turn-based games, and I'm not saying that I want it to not necessarily be turn-based, but it would be nice if it were a bit more kinetic, faster movement, more reactionary input commands. Not necessarily like Pokken Tournament, but maybe like an active time battle system with Final Fantasy, but, you know, with a little bit more bells and whistles. Something like that. But these combat gimmicks to me are getting old. So it's just Pikachu, but big. That's the shtick. Not really super hyped about that. But what I am hyped about is the fact that it's more of a free roaming type game. I love that wild areas that they showed off in the trailer. Big fan of that. I also like that you can finally put the camera behind your character and look around, and it feels like you're immersed in the environment a bit more, which I'm a huge fan of. Huge fan also of that Corviknight bird. That thing looks metal as fuck. And then, of course, we get Sif the Grey Wolf as a legendary, so that's cool. Another topic, maybe for another time on Pokemon in general, but legendaries, I haven't cared about legendaries since Gold and Silver. Like, legendaries now are just, here's the super powerful Pokemon of this game. It's kind of a trope that I think needs to go away, or at least they need to make legendaries matter again, because right now it's just, you know, here's if you compare it to like a gacha game, it's like here's the S rank Pokemon for this generation. It's kind of boring, but anyway, so yeah, Pokemon Sword and Shield, I'm definitely looking forward to see what comes out for that. This next game I am very hyped for. I was a huge fan of the original release back on the Game Boy in the 90s, and that is The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. And it's a remake for the Nintendo Switch. It looks amazing. The aesthetics look awesome. Me and my brother, again, we grew up in the military, so we traveled a lot. So we used a lot of portable gaming growing up, and the Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening was a game that we just put so many hours into. We even rebought it when it came out as Link's Awakening DX for the Game Boy Color, and that was just such a great game. I'm really looking forward to this. I'm interested to see if they add anything new. Personally, I would like them to add some new stuff, maybe some new dungeons, maybe some more items, more of an end game, so to speak, because you can get through that game fairly quickly. So yeah, looking forward to this game. It's going to be a huge title for Nintendo. I feel like anything with Zelda is going to be big. I'm kind of wondering if they're going to add any sort of multiplayer mechanic, and if they do, what that'll look like. So that'll be interesting. But just a spoiler alert for this video, I didn't include that Crypt of the Necro Dancer Legend of Zelda game in this video because I'm not really looking forward to that. It doesn't really do much for me. I'm much more interested in this game coming out. So yeah, Link's Awakening, this is going to be great. Next game we're going to be talking about is The Outer Worlds. So this was announced probably about 6 months ago, and it was announced as an Epic Store exclusive. So that's the big controversy, right, is that people don't want to download another platform to play this on, and the fact that it has Epic Store exclusivity, I don't know if that's timed. I didn't really research it before I started doing the video. I probably should have, but I don't know if it's timed or not. I suspect it is, because why would a company kneecap themselves that much? but it is going to be an exclusive on the Epic Store for its launch at the very least. And it looks great. It looks interesting. It's made by Obsidian, so it's the guys who did Fallout New Vegas. It's the guys who made the original Fallout game, or at least members of the original Fallout game. So I'm interested to see what their take on a basically a new sandbox kind of Borderlands style game. I mean, from what I'm told, it's still an RPG, and it's not, but it has a kind of that Borderlands-esque aesthetic to me. So I don't know how that's going to turn out, but it looks cool. I'm excited for it. Hopefully, it delivers on more of the big choice of the early Fallout games, and making choice matter more than the later Fallout games did. So a little bit more player agency, what would be nice. But I'm looking forward to this one. It looks pretty interesting.
You know you didn't have to shoot either one, right? But it's fine, I guess. You just keep being you.
So the next game I'm looking forward to at this E3 is The Avengers from Square Enix. Now, there's not a whole lot of information available about this. From what I understand is it's going to have some RPG mechanics, but I'm not sure really about anything else. I looked up some information online. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot out there yet. So this is going to be one of those big surprise kind of deals. I'm hoping that it's more in line with comic book Avengers than it is movie Avengers. That's my biggest concern, is it's just going to... And I get, from a marketing standpoint, you should bring as many normies into this thing as possible, but I have the suspicion that more gamers are more involved and in the know in comic subculture than the general movie-going audience was. So I'm hoping that it's more in line with comic book storylines, or at least more in line with the character representation from the comics. So that's my biggest hope for this game. I don't even know what it's going to be. I'm just hyped about it. Hopefully it looks good. Square Enix is a good company. They usually make pretty good stuff. So yeah, looking forward to that. So this next game I know a lot of people are hyped for, and that is Starfield from Bethesda. So this is what Bethesda has been working on in lieu of the next Elder Scrolls game and more Fallout stuff, other than Fallout 76. Spoiler alert, I'm not hyped about anything they announce about 76, so don't care about that. But I do care about Starfield. This looks like it might be pretty good. I guess everyone's hope is that it's Skyrim in space, right? Like that it's Elder Scrolls in space. Bring it on. That sounds amazing. If you can give us really cool mechanics, I really would prefer it not to be them trying to do Mass Effect, because personally, I'm tired of, Tumblr dating sims in my RPGs. I would much prefer it to be about, combat and the story, but that's my preference. So hopefully this game brings more on that front, and hopefully the world is a little bit more expansive than anything that Bethesda has done yet. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to have a pretty big presence at this E3. So yeah, Starfield looks good. So the next game I have apprehensions about, but I am still looking forward to it, and that is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. And the main reason I have apprehensions is the same reasons that most people have apprehensions about this game. It's being made by EA. They have touted games as a service for so many years now that I just don't see how they're not going to pull something in this game. They made a lot of promises when this game was announced. Hopefully they stick to them, but I have cautious optimism about it. I am looking forward to it. I want to see what they show off. It's supposed to be a single-player game, and it kind of reminds me of a modern-day Jedi Knight game, except for the setting. So hopefully it delivers. I'm really looking forward to it. I think my channel would be remiss if I didn't cover it. So I'm a huge Star Wars fan, obviously. And yeah, we're going to definitely check it out. I still don't recommend pre-ordering it because it's EA, but, let's keep our fingers on the pulse for this one. And that leads me into the next game that I am also cautiously optimistic for, and that is Final Fantasy VII Remake. I am a huge Final Fantasy fan. I am almost a diehard Final Fantasy fan. Castlevania, Final Fantasy, those are my two favorite gaming franchises in existence. And then probably, Dragon Quest and Legend of Zelda. Those are probably my favorites. But extremely excited for this. It looks great. The graphics look amazing, but I am worried that the combat system is just going to be, you know, Kingdom Hearts or Final Fantasy 15 all over again. I don't like that style of combat, so I'm hoping that they show more information about the combat system. From what I'm told, Yoshinori Kitase is going to be there for the live orchestra event. If you don't know, he was the director on Final Fantasy VII, so him being there is a pretty big deal. I feel like they're going to go all out for this presentation. I think this is going to be Square Enix's biggest reveal here at E3, so I'm really looking forward to that. I want more information. The scuttlebutt is that it's going to be released in 2 parts, and you know, the first one's going to end when, spoiler alert, Aerith dies. So we're going to see how that pans out in terms of the release schedule. I don't know. I want more information. How many years has it been? They brought that game in-house, and I think it's finally time to actually show some content for this game and put some stuff, laid some things to rest, and get some information out there. But please, please show more for the combat system, because I don't want this game to be some even more dumbed-down experience. Please. Okay, moving on. So the next game I'm excited for is Monster Hunter Iceborne. I love Monster Hunter. I've been playing them pretty heavily since, I would say, I mean, I've owned every one of them from the PlayStation 2 era, but I never got to endgame in any of them until the first DS game. And it was just, you know, I didn't have a lot of friends to play it with. It's one of those games that has a really steep learning curve to initially get into it. But Monster Hunter World on the PlayStation 4, I think, fixed all of that. It really brought in people that I know never would have played Monster Hunter had it not been simplified a bit more. And in this case, simplification didn't mean dumbing down. It did mean making things more streamlined and easier and more functional. So I'm a huge fan of Monster Hunter World. Iceborne looks great. I'm excited for all the new combat changes for the new weapons. Hopefully, you know, they confirm G rank. I know that's more or less already been confirmed, but I want to see a slide. I want to see all the official stuff for this game. I want to see what we can expect, how much gameplay we should expect, all the new monsters. Please, Capcom, put Zinogre in this game. It's my favorite Monster Hunter monster, and I need him in this game because Zinogre is awesome. So yes, Monster Hunter Iceborne, this looks great. Really looking forward to that. The next game on our list is one that was debuted back in 2017, and that is Metroid Prime 4. I'm a huge Metroid fan. I'm more a fan of traditional 2D Metroid than I am of the Prime games, but I do love the Prime games. I think the Prime games are amazing, and we're finally going to get some new information about this. Now, back in January, they showed a development update on the game saying, we've run into some stumbling blocks with where it was, and we are bringing it back in-house. We're getting Retro to help us out, and that's, you know, might be good. It's a little concerning too, but we'll see. But the game looks like it's going to be shown off officially here at E3 a little bit more. I'm hoping we get more information about it. Do we get a release date? I don't know. I would prefer just more information about the game. Is it going to have multiplayer? How long should we expect the campaign to be? That kind of thing. I'm hoping for more information about the game. So, Metroid Prime 4, definitely looking forward to that. So the next game for E3 that I'm looking forward to is Halo Infinite. I'm a pretty big Halo fan. I guess I wasn't as big of a fan of the series until Halo 3 came out on the Xbox 360, mostly because I didn't own an original Xbox when it came out, so I never really played that game unless it was at a friend's house. I had a lot of friends who owned it, and I had some great times playing LAN parties of that game. But Halo 3, when gaming online became the norm, that I had so many fun hours in that game. It was an awesome experience. The storyline was great. I've since then I've gone back and played Halo 1, played Halo 2, played Halo 4. Like, I've played all of these games, so I'm hoping that this game delivers. Now, from what I'm told, this game is going to be a spiritual reimagining of the game, or something to that effect. I mean, even in the trailer, you see that they're on the Halo. So it looks like it's going to be a remake, but I don't know how they're going to do this. I don't know if there's going to be some sort of like time travel stuff involved or what. But basically, I think this is a way for them to do a big reboot in-house and fix where the story was going between all those different, they have a lot of different hands on that game throughout the years. So I think this is for a way for them to condense and for 343 to kind of make their vision what they want it to be instead of what Bungie wanted it to be. So yeah, Halo Infinite, looking forward to that. So the next game I am excited for at this E3 is Doom Eternal. The first Doom, 2016's Doom, was amazing. This game had, minute-to-minute action in a shooter that I haven't experienced in so many years. It really brought me back to the days, of playing these old Doom wads on my old Windows, 98 computer, and I'm really excited for this. The last game was so good. I'm hoping that the heavy metal that they've had in the game actually goes in more of a heavy metal route instead of this awkward trance heavy metal hybrid. I'm not a huge fan of that. The soundtrack was good for what it was, don't get me wrong, but it's not something that I would listen to on the regular. I would prefer much more like traditional heavy metal or death metal in Doom because I think it serves it better than this weird techno stuff, but that's just me. That random tangent aside, really looking forward to this game. It looks brutal. Hopefully they announce a release date for it. Hopefully we get some more feature announcements. Is it going to have multiplayer? All that kind of stuff. So really looking forward to that. Doom Eternal. And the last game that I wanted to cover here is a game that I think the vast majority of every gamer out there is looking forward to the most in terms of upcoming games, and that is Cyberpunk 2077. Like many of you, I'm sure, I am a huge Cyberpunk fan. I'm a fan of the setting. I've consumed so much content that has been related to Cyberpunk. We go back to Android's Dream of Electric Sheep. Of course, the seminal Blade Runner. I mean, there's so many great things about Cyberpunk that have not been utilized in gaming to its effectiveness, in my opinion, to its potential. So Cyberpunk 2077 looks amazing. From what I'm told, it's still not going to be playable at this E3. That's just what I read. I'm not. Maybe it is. It's going to maybe there's like a behind curtains, influencer event that they're going to have where you can actually play it. Last year they showed off that big 48-minute gameplay trailer, and it looks so good, guys. This game looks so good, and it's made by CD Projekt Red. The creators of Witcher. These guys know what they're doing. They care about the fans. They care about making content that isn't just trying to nickel and dime you. And they're really, this is one of those companies that reminds me of the way Blizzard used to be, where they didn't put something out unless it was something worthy of being put out. And it just looks so good. So I'm excited to see anything about this game. I'm hoping for a release date. That would be nice. I think that's kind of wishful thinking, but I prefer them just to keep it in the oven as long as they need to keep it in there until this game is done. This game looks like it's going to be one of those like Skyrim releases, right? Where when it comes out, everyone's playing it, everyone knows about it. People are going to be making songs, people are going to be doing memes. I mean, this seems like it's going to be another cultural event for gaming when this game comes out. That's my prediction. So Cyberpunk 2077, looking forward to that in the extreme. So the last thing that I'm looking forward to from this E3, Hyperkin have announced an N64 clone console. Now, if you don't know, they are the makers of the Retron line of game consoles. They've also made a whole bunch of other things, but different handhelds. I think they made the Superboy and a few other things, but they're known for making these clone consoles. Now, I will say, I own a Retron 5. It's not the greatest thing. I don't yet own an analog system, like an analog NT or the analog Super NT or any of their emulation systems. Well, actually, those are more technically it's hardware emulation, so those are more accurate, more true. So I'm cautiously optimistic, but I am looking forward to it because this is the first official N64 clone product that has really been put to market in this way by, you know, a pretty known company, Hyperkin. So looking forward to how this is going to pan out, what the system entails. I think a lot of people who are into emulation are really looking forward to this. They've got their eye on it. So we'll see what they announce. I'm looking forward to that as well. So that's it, guys. These are the games I am looking forward to most at this year's E3. One honorary mention, too, I would throw in there would be anything retro-related. I know that we just got an announcement about a Grandia HD collection being released for the Switch. I'm hoping they show that off. That'd be great. I'd love to see any more collection announcements, any more information about retro anything. I'm a huge retro gamer, so I would love to have more collections available on gaming platforms like the Switch, especially because you can take it everywhere. So I'm looking forward to that stuff. But guys, let me know in the comment section below, what games are you looking forward to the most? What's coming up that you're most excited about? And what are your predictions? Do you think that we're going to get release dates for these games? Do you think that we're going to get any more solid information about Cyberpunk, especially? It'd be great to get more information about that. But that's it, guys. Thanks for checking out the video. Hopefully you enjoyed yourselves, and yeah, leave a comment down below. Check out some of the other videos that I've got going on. I've got links in the description box down below for where you can follow me and check me out. I also am still doing that GoFundMe for my Lyme disease recovery, so anything you can help out with there would be great. But you guys have yourselves a fantastic day. Build the hype. It's coming. This is going to be awesome. It's one of the best times of the year to be a gamer. So E3, here we come.